are on. Welcome back. Kingdom Come Deliverance. First one, we got episode 39. Probably looking to be the last one in the series. We are at the epilogue here. I'm not really sure what it all entails, but let's see what we get. Looks like we're riding on over to the upper castle here. Yeah, that last siege mission was pretty cool. Kind of a cool way to end the game.
Yeah.
Kind of curious. It looks like I don't know if the epilogue is going to kind of set up, what all is to conspire in the second one, or not too sure. So we shall see. Right on up here. Guessing the epilogue is not too long, but like I said, I am not sure at all. But we'll try to get her all knocked out in an episode here, I think. Oh, there we go. Right to a cutscene. Nice.
Oh, Hal. Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Redzig.
Came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
Question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur. That King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What you're saying, Wenceslas has invited him here?
It's starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must
Yep.
say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Right.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund,
The old imperial
just
struggle.
wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here.
Ah,
The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
people like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergolf, Heinrich von
The
Rosenberg.
situation has gotten completely out of control.
Yeah,
Now, even
sounds
the
like quite
nobles
the
and
mess.
League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Berghoff is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghoff, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts, and now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghoff know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, your grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like scarlets? We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Bergov at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True.
Hmm.
Though a little risky.
I doubt Berghoff would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why
Oh,
not?
nice.
He's proven himself
Setting
an
it
able
up for how 2
investigator,
starts.
And he'll also be a good bodyguard.
Now I understand why.
And I'll send Sir John here to Gutenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I pack my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
Nice. Yeah, so basically that like little expedition, that's how part 2 starts.
I expect it would be best to write it in your name.
Talk to
Lord of
your
Light.
father.
Quite so, Margrave.
Where's he at?
What
There he is.
exactly am I to write?
Right.
it
It's
looks
like a
like
lot
you're
of
off on a
talking in
mission.
this epilogue.
Yes. I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that Bergov is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Bergov tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Rest assured, Father.
Nice.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
I may
Very
be
well.
embroiled in other stuff over there.
Bergov is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm getting a bit lost in the Luxembourg lineage.
The Luxembourg.
Let's kind of go through this a little quick. If you want to pause
Is
it,
he really?
The cousin. Until I
a
don't
lot
know
of
what
this
but
is
he really is.
kind of stuff we already know.
I'm a bit...
But he can. You can't.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
That's about all.
Very well.
we kind of know all that
Take
stuff
the
if,
letter
if you've been
from
paying
Fred.
attention to the story. All right. What else we got here? Pick up the letter from Margrave Jobst. Take the letter. Thank you.
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon
Yeah.
should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
Oh, and some money. All right. Congratulations. You've completed the main storyline. If you like, you can still embark on side quests and activities just wander around the world. You can end the game anytime afterwards by riding off the map with Sir Hans Capon's squad. Nice. Okay.
Come now, Hal. My men are mustered in the courtyard. We can get going.
All right. Oh, look at that fancy armor. Well, let's yeah, let's finish her up, I think. What did he speak with? Oh, we gotta talk to him. All right, let's talk to him quick, I guess. Let's do the thing.
Set off now, Henry?
Yep.
Of course. I can't wait. So, to horse.
Get back
Lord
into
Burke
part
is
two.
waiting us eagerly.
Let's see what this looks like. All right. We're gonna ride off into the. Nope. All right, you go. We're gonna ride off into the sunset. And now the start of part 2 all makes more sense. I would say you just ride off the edge of the map with them, and that kind of like finishes up the game. Well, yeah, let's get that done, and
I'm getting used to it.
see what they say.
What about Rodzik? Has he accounted for not owning up to you the whole time?
He explained it. All will be well, I think.
Glad to hear it. It's far more acceptable for a nobleman to befriend a noble bastard than a blacksmith.
Mind you, don't come to blows with a blacksmith, my young lord.
Nice. But yeah, let's
What do you think about Sir Yobst and his plan?
Okay.
Well,
Still
I
going.
admit all the scheming has me a little lost. I thought Sigismund was the devil, Wenceslas a martyr, those on his side the heroes, and those against him the villains. I believed we'd rescue the king and all would be well again, but now it looks a lot more complicated.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't expect the noble lords to be as noble as the angels, but I hadn't expected such a sewer. They behave like children.
I can't fathom how after all this backstabbing they're somehow still on speaking terms.
I don't know either. Beggars belief.
Yeah, so I was saying, well, let's we'll finish it up by riding into the sunset, and that'll pretty much
Did
be
you
it.
know that King Wenceslas is such a
Feckless drunkard? Not really. And to be honest, I'm not sure I wanted to know. I slept better believing my fate was watched over by a wise and powerful monarch.
So did I.
What a dismal world when you can't keep trusting your own king.
On the other hand, times were better with him here than with him gone.
Isn't that the truth?
Nice
What do you think of Sigismund?
relaxing ride to
If
finish
I were
her up.
him, I'd have had enough of my brother even sooner.
But he's a monster. Look at what those hordes of his are getting up to here. What he did in Skalitz.
True enough. On the other hand, if Wenceslas and Prokop hadn't double-crossed him, none of this would have happened.
No one forced him to burn Skalitz.
That's a fact. But he couldn't let them shit all over him either. Not that I'm defending him.
He's a weasel.
No doubt about that.
Do you know anything about Prokop?
Sir Hanush could tell you a thing or two about him.
Why?
Last winter, a certain Sir Jan Sokol of Lamberg, a well-known knight, or robber baron to some, tried to occupy the city of Iglau, which was on the orders of none other than Prokop.
And what has that got to do with Hanush?
Well, he was there with him. Of course, that's not something to brag about in front of Jobst.
And what was it all about?
They wanted to occupy a city that was on the side of the League of Lords, but despite there being several hundred strong, they didn't take it. For one thing, they couldn't get past the Iglau women, with their pitchforks and cauldrons of hot water.
I would never have thought of Sir Hanush as such a rebel. And have you heard anything about Rupert of the Palatinate?
A little. He can't manage even to wrest power from a king who doesn't much care for ruling and isn't fighting back. That doesn't seem like a man who has what it takes to rule. And that's all I need to know.
Hmm.
And that Berghoff we're going to see, do you know anything about him?
I haven't heard much good about him, but I have a feeling that some other nobles are quite in awe of him. And his castle is apparently quite impressive. I'll be interested to see for myself.
Hmm.
And what about the League of Lords?
Wealthy, pompous. The king doesn't seem to like them much. He's chosen to let the lesser ranks of the nobility into his circle, men like your father. I admit I don't blame him one bit. But the lords weren't happy about their lost influence, so they put their foot down. If I were Wenceslas, I'd have let them hang after they abducted me the first time. But he gave them seats at the provincial council? Little wonder they're back in their old tricks.
Let's see, how close are we to? I think we're about getting there, I guess. Quite the little ride with the backstory here going on, setting up the second one. I think I remember this place. This was a place where very early on, before we knew how to kind of take care of our inventory, we were struggling about. Looks kind of cleaned up now. Yeah, I guess with the series finishing up, hopefully everybody enjoyed it. I know this game's not for everybody, and you kind of got to be in the mood to watch something with a lot of story. Like I don't want to compare it to like a movie, but there's a ton of dialogue, a ton of story stuff, and then gameplay. So you definitely got to kind of be in the mood for this type of game to, want to watch it. But yeah, hopefully we moved along at a decent pace for everybody, and I tried to not skip too much of the main story. Tried to get all the dialogue in there for people who were interested, and it's kind of one of the things, that's kind of my goal, is to just, right, like, kind of have that relaxing environment where you can kind of just sit down and watch something while you're eating dinner, or maybe at lunch at work or something like that. And for a lot of people, I'm thinking it's, because like I would watch games like this, and it's just simply because maybe I am at work or whatever it is, and I'm not going to have time to play this game. So that's kind of one of the goals of the series, is to give people the opportunity to, see what happens with everything. Without actually being able, like maybe they don't have that time to play the game. Oh, here we go. What do we got here?
Greetings. What business have you?
Sorry you didn't stay home, are you?
Are you wishing you'd stayed home at Raton instead of joining in our nighttime venture?
You must be joking. I haven't had so much fun since... actually ever.
Really? Despite being wounded? Actually, you missed the best part. When I was hauling you like a sack of grain to the battlements dead to the world.
It can't have been that much fun if I fell asleep. But you might have handled me a bit more gently. I'm black and blue all over.
Oh, all right then. Next time I'll just leave you to Istvan's tender mercy.
Nonsense.
Nice.
What would you do without me? Still, thank you for hauling me out of there.
Anything for you, my lord.
Goodbye.
Nice. the camp at the end of the road. What's our quest say? Talk to Capone. As soon as I'm ready, I must have. Oh, we can get going. Well, what's in here? Oh, all sorts of fancy stuff. Oh, is this like some of the best stuff in the game? Holy cow, yeah it is. Steal all. What? Alright. Should we see what some of that stuff looks like? What do we got? Noble sword. The short sword. Noble's hunting sword. Yeah, let's put that on for now. Look at that. Raven's beak. St. George's sword. Ooh, that looks sick too. I'm gonna put that on. And what do we got? We got some fancy looking armor here. What's some of the new stuff? Let's kind of see what this looks like before we go. Nope. Let's see. What else did we get? Got one of them. Those are pretty fancy looking. Nobleman's gauntlets. Ooh, those look fancy as well. Got a little bit more of a shine to it. Got that ring on already. Alright, I think that's everything. Everything that was new. Yeah, I think we are looking pretty spiffy. Minus kind of that top shirt. Maybe we can get that off so we can see kind of how cool we look. Which one is that? Is that this one? Oh, yeah, there we go. We are looking nice.
How about it, Henry? Can we go? Are you ready for this?
Let's do it. Oh, look at me looking all fancy.
Of course. At last I'll get to see more of the country and have a bit of an outing.
Quite.
There we go.
Let's get to it then. I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
Instead of saving his drunken majesty, I'd rather find that horseman who murdered my parents, get the sword back from him, and skewer him with it.
Cheer up, Henry. I have a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!
The ride off into the sunset. Awesome. All right. Well, I think that is going to do it, everybody. So thanks for joining. Hopefully you enjoyed the series. Come on back. We got the second one started up already, and I plan on getting much deeper into that one. Got the glorious music to end her. All right. Well, I guess with that being said, go out there, be a good person. It's really not that hard, and I will see you for the second game.